Yes guys, what is going on, and welcome to another video here on my channel. So today we are doing a Q&A. I put a story up on my Instagram asking you guys to ask me questions regarding training, lifestyle, business, personal questions, and today in this YouTube video we are going to be answering all of your questions. So I selected some of my favorite ones. There was a lot of really good ones on there, so I'm going to get through them all. Yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. I've started off with like the generic one. So the first question is, how old am I? I am actually 23. My birthday is August the 2nd. I was born in 1999. So the next one is, what is my height and weight? So my height, I am 5'11", but we all know that it's like a known rule that 5'11" gets an automatic promotion to 6 foot. And my weight is currently fluctuating between 79 and 80 kilos. I'm currently on a cut. Next question, am I single? Yes, I am single. I feel like I'm quite happy being single because with what I'm doing right now and how the social media is going, it's a plan of mine, which I'll come on to later because there's a few questions about it. But obviously I want to be traveling a lot. I want to be doing a lot of stuff. So, you know, being in a relationship right now and having a girlfriend would be extremely kind of hard to manage, especially if she's not in the same sort of life that I am, and she, you know, she has a job over here, because I definitely want to be going all over the place in the near future. So yeah, it would be hard, but again, I wouldn't, if the right person came along, I wouldn't say no. So the next question was a good one. Well, these were two different questions that were kind of similar, so I thought I'd tie them in. So it was, how did you get sponsored, and how does getting sponsored, like, how does it all work? So I got sponsored. Both companies that I'm sponsored by at the moment, Vanquish and Ghost. If you want to shop through any of them, make sure you use the link in my description. Vanquish, if you use the link, you'll support me a lot. This is all Vanquish. This t-shirt is from the new collection, and these bottoms are from the wash collection. There is a new lifting club collection coming out very, very soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. That will be a big drop. And from Ghost, if you want to get a discount, use code J for 20% off on the website. But yeah, so how did I get sponsored? They just both contacted me. Obviously, they saw that I was, you know, producing good content, getting good exposure. Initially, both of them were just gifting. So Vanquish, when they first contacted me, they just sent me free clothes in exchange for some content, which, you know, when you're new to this, is like unbelievable. The opportunity to be working with big brands like Vanquish and Ghost. And it was the same with Ghost. They hit me up, they sent me an email, and they said like, oh, we'd love to send you a care package. And with both companies, I kind of actually, I'm not saying they wouldn't have initiated it, so I kind of said to them, oh, it would be great, you know, if we could work on a more consistent basis. And then Vanquish came back with offering me a retainer where we do a certain amount of videos a month, along with getting clothes and also getting paid from it. And then with Ghost as well, initially Ghost was a lot harder. Like, they didn't want to fully sponsor me. They were happy to send me gift packages, and, you know, I do content for them in exchange for every couple months getting some stuff, but there was no like kind of solid agreement there. And then I did a video when I got one of those care packages, and I think the video got like 100,000 views, and the guy that I'd been in contact with was just like, look, are you still kind of keen on Ghost? Because I always said to him that Ghost is one of my favorite companies, like I'd love to work with them. And yeah, so he eventually, he obviously knew my interest, and eventually he just said to me, look, if you're still keen on Ghost, we'd love to have you. Like, we're seeing the work you're doing, the growth you're having is unbelievable, the content you produce is great. And they obviously see TikTok as kind of the main platform at the moment. Yeah, eventually we managed to strike up a deal, and now I am sponsored. So that's how it works. But, you know, I would always say, make sure you're working with companies, even if there is the offer of money there. Always work with companies that you believe in. You know, you don't just want to be working with companies that you don't see value in their products, because, you know, eventually your followers will look at it as like, oh, you're just trying to sell them products, and, you know, you're not actually believing in the product. Vanquish and Ghost are two companies that I've bought stuff from before and I love, so it was like a very authentic collaboration. The next one, are you natural? Yes, I am natural, always have been. And the next question leading on from that is, would I ever consider taking performance enhancing drugs? I would never ever take performance enhancing drugs. For me, I see the value of that in, if you're looking to compete at the highest level, and that's what you really wanted to do, which is something I don't. What are my opinions on, I've kind of put these questions all together. So what are my opinions on fake natties? Now, if you're natural, if you're not natural and you choose not to speak about it because you just don't want to speak about it, that's fine. But when we say fake natties, we're talking about people that take steroids and not only don't talk about it, but they say that they're natural. Now that for me is like a huge no-no. Like it's basically fraud in a sense. Like, so people will invest into these people, into their training programs and everything that they're doing, believing that they've achieved that naturally. Where they've got to wouldn't have been possible naturally. And on that note, don't get me wrong, they can still be giving good advice if they're, you know, if they've achieved their physique through hard work and knowing what they're doing. I'm not saying that fake natties don't know what they're doing, but them putting on the impression that what they've achieved is solely from all the work and training that they've done, and not from the fact that they've included performance enhancing drugs in their system, that's not right. Because, you know, like I say, people will invest into them believing that they've achieved it naturally, and then it's all down to the training and eating that's achieving that physique. So yes, it's not good to be a fake natural. How many hours do I train is the next question. So typically my sessions last about 2 hours, and I train, at the moment I do 5 gym sessions a week. My split is lower body and arms. So I do a whole leg workout, and then I do 1 bicep and 1 tricep exercise. I do an upper body, 2 back, 2 chest, 3 shoulder exercises. Then I do push and arms, and then I do another leg session, and then I do pull and arms. I'm also running at the moment as well, just because I love running. So I know it's probably not the best thing in terms of building muscle. But yeah, so 5 days a week, about 2 hours a day, maybe 2.5 hours if I'm running as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's quite long sessions, and but I do enjoy them, and I don't force myself to be at the gym for 2 hours. Like, I genuinely enjoy training for that amount of time. What was the reason you started going gym? Now, I always used to play football, soccer if you're American, so I was always passionate about that as a sport, and just generally passionate about health and fitness. I used to work extremely hard to try and be the best I could possibly be. And then I got a serious injury in 2020, 2 years ago, and I then turned to going to the gym because I couldn't, so it was an ACL injury on my knee. I couldn't play football, so I just started going to the gym and training upper body. Couldn't train legs for ages, but my upper body started to grow, and then in and amongst that, my social media started to grow as well, and it was all kind of surrounding the gym. Don't get me wrong, I always enjoyed gym training. I wasn't like kind of just forced into it. I did always enjoy it, but it kind of contradicted the football training that I used to do. So I never used to do bodybuilding training. I used to do strength and conditioning and stuff. But then yeah, I started going gym properly. Obviously I was well researched into it anyway because I enjoyed it. I used to watch all like the big, you know, YouTubers, Chris Bumstead, I say YouTubers, big bodybuilders, Chris Bumstead, Mike Thurston, all these type of people. Even when I wasn't bodybuilding, I just used to enjoy watching it. And then yeah, the love was already kind of there. And then when I recovered from my injury, because of how much social media had grown, because I had grown quite physically as well, and then I started training my legs and stuff, I just kept going at the bodybuilding. I still play football occasionally now, but I've just got so much more going on now. It's hard for me to commit to the level that I was kind of used to be playing, which was semi-professional. Just, you know, not only is it time, but just I can't afford to get injured. It's a completely different style of training again, so I'd have to kind of compromise my physique a little bit. But yeah, that is pretty much how I got into the gym. What is your go-to cheat meal? Now, my favorite thing ever is chicken wings, like fried chicken wings in lots of sauce, like barbecue, buffalo, all that type of thing. That is my favorite thing with like fries and stuff. Like if I have to, there's a place near me that does it. If I have to get a cheat meal, that would be my go-to cheat meal. How do you avoid burnout? There's a little bit of this guy went into a little bit of detail here. I'm studying at the moment and I work out. I work out even when I don't want to, but sometimes it's kind of lonely, that feeling we get. What's the big picture and how do you handle it? So how do you avoid burnout? Look, you just have to manage your body and time. You know, it's very hard if you know, in this day and age with the workload that's placed on you in order to be successful in life, and even just, you know, to earn a good wage, a good living, even if you're in university, the amount of work you have to do for studying and exams, and then you're trying to work out as well, and, you know, stay disciplined and maintain a social life and everything. It can be very, like, you know, hard to handle sometimes. And the only way to avoid it is just to be really good with your time management. You know, make sure you're preparing for everything, giving yourself the most amount of time to do everything, so you feel like that you're getting time to rest and relax and reset. Don't get me wrong, I feel burnt out a lot of the time. I'm not saying I'm a guru on avoiding burnout. You know, I work so much that sometimes I can't relax. I'm always doing something. I can't sleep at night, especially now that social media is kind of my living. You know, my phone is always going off. Like, it's very hard to actually switch off. But yeah, time management is key, and just giving yourself time to relax, you know, taking days off when you can, doing things you enjoy doing, going places you want to go to, really using your time in the gym to forget about everything else if you possibly can. I say that to myself sometimes and then I get sucked back in, but you know, just managing your time really well. Truth be told, you kind of have to accept in this day and age that if you want to be successful, you have to really be willing to work really, really hard, and it's going to be hard to avoid those feelings of burnout at times, but I feel like if you can ride the wave, you will come out stronger and better and more successful. What are my current life and training goals? I also saw a question that said, what's my 1 year plan? So I thought I'd tie these two in together. So my life goals, obviously, I'm very dedicated to being successful. It's always the way I've been. Whatever I've put my mind to, I've always wanted to kind of be successful. I want to be financially free. I want to be able to do whatever I do wherever I am in the world. That's always been a passion of mine. I don't want to escape work. I accept that I'm going to have to work, but I just want it to be able to be done wherever I am, and I feel like social media offers me that option to travel the world, share my experiences with you, get content and still earn a living. And my training goals, you know, I want to look the best I can possibly be. I want to have a physique which, you know, it inspires and motivates people. I also want to show that I live a normal life. Like, I enjoy going out, eating food. Like, I enjoy going out, partying on holidays, you know, and I want to show that all in all, I will still remain disciplined, and that you can understand that life is about balance, but you can achieve like the physique of your dreams. But when I look at my 1 year plan, I think it's good to be more specific, because my life goal is very kind of generic. My specific goal for the next year is I want to be doing social media completely full-time, which I think will happen very soon. And then my real 1 year plan is next year I want to travel. I want to go to America for, if I can, for like 3 months if possible, just to travel and explore everywhere, because I've been obsessed with America. I've been there twice, and it's just one place that I could actually see myself living in if possible one day. And yeah, I just want to travel loads. Like, I'm talking like at least 10 trips next year, have a great summer, because I've put so much on hold to try and become successful. I feel like now is the time for me to start enjoying myself while I'm young, before, you know, I get a wife and kids. I want to live my life right now and get it all done as best as I possibly can. Hopefully maybe meet a girl that is on the same sort of pathway as me, so we can live that life together, because that would be ideal for me, like I've said, considering everything I want to do. Who would I love to collaborate with, and who is my favorite fitness influencer? So this kind of goes hand in hand. Mike Thurston was a huge inspiration to me when I got into the game. You know, social media, bodybuilding, I kind of looked up to him. I love the life he lives, his work ethic. Obviously he's got a great physique, so he's one guy that I looked up to. Obviously the king of bodybuilding, Chris Bumstead, and then also Jesse James West is someone I would just love to collaborate with. I think he is the best fitness YouTuber at the moment in terms of content, and how he delivers it so well on a regular basis. It's very, very impressive, and yeah, I'd love to collaborate with him. Okay, moving on. What is my biggest ick? I don't want to get too into this because I feel like I could say something wrong. However, for me, if I was to say the worst thing for me when looking at a girl is if they don't have drive, like if they're not driven to achieve something in their life. I think that would be the worst thing, because I'm so motivated, and you know, with everything, with training, my work, being successful. If they weren't like that and they were the opposites of that, I just feel like we'd contradict one another. We wouldn't probably be a match made in heaven, but you never know, sometimes opposites attract. You can't really say anything on these topics these days, because you know, people just take it way too seriously. I can't seem to be consistent with my diet. What is your best advice? What is your best? It's hard. You know, if you're trying to cut, lose body fat, it is very hard to be consistent. Understand balance. You know, don't just commit to a diet plan and think that that is the way it's got to be forever. You know, kind of learn how to be flexible with your diet. Also, establish a diet that you enjoy. There are ways of dieting. I make my diet when I cut the best it possibly can be, albeit I get to a stage where I'm on very low calories and it does get very hard. But in terms of what I'm eating, I'm trying to consume the best things so that it tastes good and I enjoy it, fills me up as much as it possibly can. So it is a process of trial and error, establishing a really good diet for you. But you know, it is hard, it is very, very challenging, and you know, sometimes it sounds a bit basic for me to say this, but sometimes you just have to, it comes down to discipline and really just training yourself to push past that barrier and, you know, really commit to your nutrition. You can still enjoy yourself and live a normal life, but if you've got a goal in place, let that goal motivate you to work hard at your diet and achieve the body that you want. How does fitness affect your social and sexual life? Well, firstly, I'll say it doesn't affect my sexual life in any kind of way. But if you're tying in social life in the sense where, do I struggle to meet girls and going out and stuff, that is definitely a factor, because I don't go out a lot right now. I do want to start doing more stuff, like I've said, traveling more, experiencing more. However, yeah, I don't go out that much right now, so I don't meet a lot of girls. So in that sense, like, kind of potentially, but yeah, in terms of meeting girls, but yeah, it doesn't really affect anything sexually. Social, it's not so much gym. Gym doesn't affect anything. It's just the job that I have that is evolving around the gym. I just do so much with my time. I just don't have time to kind of socialize as much as I'd like to. I have a great group of friends, but their lives are also pretty demanding, so it's hard to find time to do things. But I'm hoping with the industry that I'm in now, I'll meet a lot of people, you know, in that kind of in the social media game. But yeah, overall, fitness doesn't affect my social or sexual life, but having a demanding lifestyle does affect my social life, and it makes it harder to meet girls because you're not out meeting them. So yeah, one gym advice you would give to a beginner: be patient. If I had to give one bit of advice, be patient, but leading on from that, be consistent. You know, a lot of people who start going to the gym, they want the results like instantly, but you have to understand that they're not going to come straight away. You have to work hard, you have to make sure your form's good, you know, be consistent, prioritize form over lifting heavy weight at the start, and really study training. Like, if you really want to achieve a great physique, you have to really delve into it, especially if you've got no one coaching you. There's so much on social media nowadays. You can get all the knowledge you need. You just have to be willing to go out and research it. That's literally exactly what I did when, obviously it's my job, but in terms of getting really good at what I'm doing, it was just all through research, you know, social media, looking at top fitness influencers that are a little bit more sciencey on their approach, as opposed to just big and maybe a bit more genetically gifted. I look at the people who think about the science behind training and what's the most efficient way of training, and just, if you can be patient when you start training and just commit to the process, learn about it, you'll be fine. But just remain consistent and patient. Guys, they are your questions. They were actually really good questions. I feel like I've had a great conversation with myself. I hope you guys have got all the information from me that you would have wanted to know. Comment a question below for the next Q&A. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and smash the like button on this video. Please help me get some likes on this video. Follow me on all my socials, and I will see you all in the next video.